it.
Hi.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, so
I did.
okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you. Now pull the door together, that'll help a lot better as well.
Okay.
I'm warning you, thanks to yourself, sir.
Okay. The reclassifying of healthcare workers and the policy debate over healthcare's professional status. Imagine lying in a hospital bed waiting for critical care, only to find out the RN nurse or doctor's assistant is no longer considered professional by the United States current standards. This federal shift has directly affected student loan availability, potentially decreasing the workforce in the future and the quality of care a patient will receive in the long run. We will examine the criteria used to determine what a professional degree is, look at what consequences the reclassification brings, and find out how the healthcare world is fighting back. As a student currently pursuing a nursing degree with an end goal of acquiring a now non-professional degree as an APRN or a nurse practitioner, I'm extremely invested in reviewing the Department of Education's adjustments and the healthcare industry's response to understand how this change affects us all in the future. Let's begin by analyzing the specific policy shift that started this conversation. Don't mind. This administration's criteria for redefining professional programs are centered on high historical standards and precise financial return parameters. Under the Department of Education's updated criteria found in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the definition of a professional degree was narrowed significantly. However, this was not the case for every career in healthcare. Professional status was explicitly maintained for select fields such as traditional medicine, law, pharmacy, and dentistry. Critical fields, specifically graduate level nursing for the sake of this speech, were excluded from being designated professional. Alongside nurse practitioners or APRNs, physician assistants, physical therapists, and audiologists were also excluded. Let's hope nobody has a stroke or loses their hearing, right? Amid all the public backlash, the DOE defended their policy by saying they were aiming to reduce overall federal student loan debt and that roughly 95% of aggregated nursing students would be unaffected by these graduated level caps. Now that we understand the parameters, we must evaluate how these definitions translate into real-world financial burdens. Excluding graduate healthcare programs from the professional degree list imposes severe financial caps on students and threatens the staff-to-patient ratio in healthcare settings. Students in recognized professional programs could borrow up to $50,000 annually with an aggregate limit of $200,000 in federal student loan debts. The new reclassified healthcare graduate students now are capped at $20,500 annually and a lifetime limit of $100,000. The policy also practically eliminates the Grad Plus loan program, which originally allowed specialized students to borrow up to 100% of the total cost of attendance. What good does that do for anybody? Healthcare advocates such as the American Association College of Nursing warns that the capping of the financial aid prices out aspiring providers and halts the pipeline for advanced practice nurses and nurse educators. Because the financial and structural stakes are incredibly high, a major counter-movement emerged within legislation. The reclassification has received severe backlash from medical associations nationwide. It also prompted immediate intervention by Congress. The American Nurses Association launched a massive advocacy response, gathering over 200,000 signatures on a petition demanding that the DOE modify its definition, but to no avail. Representative Lauren Underwood and other lawmakers have publicly argued that the rules cause staffing shortages in rural and underserved areas. In other words, the majority of Kentucky is affected. Amid public pressure, the House of Appropriations Committee successfully advanced a bipartisan amendment in the fiscal year of 2027 education funding bill. The new amendment mandates that the reclassification of graduate nursing programs is professional and restored to the higher $200,000 loan limit. Ultimately, the ongoing battle over these definitions showed the word professional carries an immense weight and life-altering circumstances. This administration's policy excluding advanced nursing and allied health and professional degrees has disrupted education financing, increased worries regarding healthcare staffing and shortages, and driven Congress to seek immediate legislative changes. We've now reviewed how the One Big Ugly Bill has narrowed the definition of professional degrees. We've also looked at the financial and real-world consequences. And lastly, we've observed the pushback from healthcare organizations and Congress. The definition of professional may seem like minor legal words, But as this current battle in Congress shows, the terms we use to classify our caregivers dictate whether they can afford to look after us when we need them the most. So would you rather fight over the meaning of the word professional or know that there's somebody available and knowledgeable to save your life when you need it the most? And that's the end.